Our next story comes from Somalia, where people are dying of hunger. While the rest of the media focuses on other issues, we want to put the spotlight on what the Somalians are going through at this point. Let's give you a basic reality check. The East African country is witnessing severe drought and a major famine crisis. Experts say that over 34,000 will die due to hunger in the first 6 months of this year. The number of fatalities has always been on the rise. Somalia suffered the death of 43,000 people last year as it went through the 6th consecutive failed rainy season. The worst part is that more children died as compared to adults, most of them under the age of 5. More than 213,000 people are at high risk of famine, and over 7.8 million people, which is half of the population, is now affected by the drought. This news of famines and droughts affecting Somalia is nothing new. The country has been witnessing the crises since 1992, when more than 300,000 people lost their lives. This has been the trend for more than 2 decades now. But this is where a major question comes up. Why have countries ignored the history of famines and droughts in Somalia? You see, politics is a major reason. Nations have always been worried to send aid to Somalia as it was believed to be controlled by terror groups. The governments were concerned about what if the medical aid falls in the hands of terrorists. This contributed to the significant decline in aid to the country. While Western donors continue to prioritize geopolitical relations over the urgent need to avoid famine, Al-Shabaab, the terror group dominating the country, paid little heed to the crisis there. They restricted humanitarian access and rejected emergency aid. And now the UN says that a large number of people have been pushed into reliance on humanitarian assistance. But is humanitarian assistance the solution? Somali officials say that such assistance can only be a stopgap measure when crises occur. Dependence on food aid can be a brutal cycle where a country will become dependent on other countries for aid every time a crisis occurs. And the other major problem with humanitarian aid is that once funds are earmarked for a certain purpose, it cannot be used for any other requirement, even if it's connected to the current crisis. So what can be the solution for Somalia? Officials say resilience schemes can be the answer, in which organizations can help build projects like water reservoirs, irrigation, fodder, create alternative clean energy sources like solar energy. The tragedy in Somalia is more saddening as people are suffering from a climate-related crisis, a country which hardly contributes to the global emissions. The country is in need of a green energy transition that would allow it to adapt to the changing climate reality. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.